you guys love movies. I love movies. Let's just say, like, who would be your ideal
best movie villains?
Movie villain.
Now this could mean they're either most evil, the coolest, funny, whatever makes you stick out as far as a movie villain. Chris, why don't you start us with a notable
favorite all time?
Sure.
There are some good ones. I'm gonna say, and I was just watching. I'm gonna go with. I absolutely just love Predator. He is my favorite villain.
He's a great villain.
He is such a good villain. And I was watching Predator 2 the other day, actually with my son, and he had never seen. I was like, "You seen Predator 2?" He's like, "Yeah, I've seen that one." And then we ended up watching it, and I forgot how good Predator 2 actually is. It's really good. Yeah. And there's multiple Predators in the end of that one too. Yeah. But just the concept of Predator, the alien creature coming to this planet to hunt us. Yep. To me is like one of the greatest concepts.
That is pretty cool.
There's many others that I have, but I would start with that one.
Now, do you think aliens are real? If you missed the full podcast, check out our 40-minute video on that.
But yeah, again, Predator for me. Love it.
Ricky was very excited a minute ago. He's like, I got one.
I have many, but I guess the one I'll shoot out is the T-1000.
Yeah. Oh, Terminator 2.
Because that dude does not die. I love it. He's like the ultimate, like, God, he's just such a great bad guy. You can't kill him. You can't do anything to him. You don't even technically know if he really died in that in the fire. But dude, I love it.
He's my number 2 villain.
He's so good.
So good. That guy.
Good.
Unbelievable.
You know who's another villain I really like? Oh, what's the guy's name? Hold on. I wrote it down right here.
What is it, Ricky? What is it?
Snick. Do you remember what Snick is from?
No.
Dude, I used to...
Wait. I know the name Snick.
I used to be scared
It's bothering me. I don't know the name.
When I was a kid because of this movie.
Oh, Little Monsters?
Yes.
I knew it.
Snick.
Little Monsters
used to freak me out, dude.
Even though he's not supposed to be.
He's not supposed to be, but dude, I always thought he was a great villain. Like a punk rocker with like a cigarette, but he's like gnarly.
Did you ever see Little Monsters?
No, I don't think I ever saw it.
It's Howie Mandel, and basically everybody in that movie... All the monsters aren't technically supposed to be scary. Some are, some aren't.
Yeah.
But they all look frightening, even if they're not supposed to look frightening. You got to watch Little Monsters.
I got to watch that.
It's Howie Mandel and what's his name? Fred Savage? Fred Savage. Very, very classic. Very good movie. All right, I'm jumping with one.
Okay, go.
One of my favorites is Scar.
Oh, I had that on my list.
From Lion King.
Yeah, he's a good one.
First of all, his voice, unbelievable. One of my second favorite things about it is it's basically a giant knock on socialism. That's what it is. If you look at shots, they literally say, they tell you the shots, if you look at it, of them marching with Scar on top and the way they're marching is literally the same scenes of actual footage you could see of Hitler doing his speeches with all the people marching. And even his song, Be Prepared. I mean, one of my favorite lines, you won't have a drink without me. That's basically every socialist leader is, you don't get anything without me, right? So I think it's such a powerful, cartoon, even though it's a cartoon, like, enemy, because it's like putting something real life into it, which makes it seem much scarier because it is things that can be real.
Yeah.
That concept of killing your brother is really bad too.
Dude.
I mean, I have a brother, probably most of us have brothers, but that scene of like you're holding your brother and then he releases him like that.
Yeah.
Like,
and then he tried to do it to Simba too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No remorse with it either. Just does it. That's
pretty bad.
He's such the voice in that is such a perfect voice. In the original animated one, the new one,
I didn't watch it.
It was all right.
I don't watch any animated.
Did you know, randomly speaking of Hitler, did you know that there was recently like some AI stuff where they did like an AI generation and it took everything he said but put it in English?
No way.
It was wild to listen to. He like never said anything about like, we're going to kill the Jews or anything like that. It wasn't like that. It was like, do you support me as your leader? Like, do you trust me? I will take charge. We will win this, whatever. It was never like, we're going to kill, these people and this people. So it was very interesting to listen to, but I've never, you've seen the way he talks. And
that's AI, or was it like directly translated into English?
Directly translated in English, but they used AI to actually give it an English voice.
Oh, that's even
But
crazier.
not just like, hello, I am Hitler. It was like yelling. So you were like, whoa, you can actually hear technically what they were hearing. It was like frightening to listen to.
I heard he was like on drugs when he was doing that kind of stuff.
Extreme
right? Yeah.
Drugs. Look at clips of him. That's what you were saying earlier.
Probably on ayahuasca or something.
like this the whole time, shaking, moving. Yeah, he was doing whatever Chris did. What do you think about demons? Curtis?
One of my favorite movie series of all time has been Lord of the Rings, and it was hard to choose
that's a good one.
which one, but I feel like the one I had most conflict with who would have been the best evil character would have been Gollum, right? Because he worked against them the entirety of the time that he came into the series.
Against the hobbits.
Right? Like, I mean, you could think about like the Eye of Sauron, like that's kind of like scary. Every time it sees you, it spots you out. Gollum, he would take the ring, just gone. And
Gollum was wild, dude.
and him and that internal conflict that he'd have with Smeagol is like, yeah, this is my precious, right?
Yep.
But I never looked at him truly as like a villain. Like Sauron was the villain.
No, so this
Well,
was
he's a sneaky villain,
But he
right?
was like not a villain to me because I actually like towards the end you actually kind of like feel for him. Not that he wasn't still bad in what he was doing,
that's like-
but I felt for him because you realize that he was like it's like an addict almost, like he couldn't help himself.
Well,
right?
let's use, for example, then
drugs.
the new Joker movie. Right? It's kind of the same thing. You kind of be like, oh, I get it. He's pretty much bullied
with
into
Joaquin
this.
Phoenix's?
Doesn't make you be like he's not. Obviously, he's evil and horrible. But at the same time, it's like you hear a little bit of backstory and go, oh, I guess, he was kind of pushed into. But in reality, of course, it doesn't excuse serial killers, murders.
But I mean, like, it's like what you give somebody power and what they do with it and what it does to you. That's what pretty much created Gollum, right?
Yeah, and I actually like those villains like the Joker and Gollum like that, where you actually can kind of like relate at the end. Like you're like, oh, I understand why you did this.
He's not only just like a just an evil creature or like a innocent creature, but he's just his embodiment of what society has given him.
The other one I throw into that boat, and one of my favorite villains too, is Thanos. Because like what he was bad, of course, he like killed half the universe. And, but why he was doing it, and he keeps saying it over and over, he's like, I'm doing this to save all of the universe because it's overpopulated.
Yes.
And I need to end
Globalist.
But if you look at any major villain, real life villain, they normally have the same mindset. I'm purifying the world. I'm taking out these people. The Jews, I'm taking them out. They're the evil ones. We need to get rid of their kind.
Yeah, don't quote me for verbatim, but I think the comic book base of Thanos was different than what they did through Marvel because he was actually in love with the mistress of death.
He was.
And he was trying to bring souls to her to prove to her that reasoning of taking half the lives to prove to her that, like, I'm bringing you this.
Yeah, no, I read all the comic books, Infinity Gauntlet series, and they didn't include Lady Death in the movies at all. Probably for good reason, because it was kind of weird that he was like in love with her. But that concept of clicking his fingers and ending half the universe, that happens in the comics and the movies.
Wild.
And why he was doing it was actually in the comic books, as far as I remember, was to like
Do
save
that
humanity.
and do that and also
He
bring
was
her
trying to
that.
appease her. He was like, I'm going to do this for you. So there was like two parallel lines, but he was also like doing it for a reason.
And I only know that because I watched the
If
short.
you think about it, that's why what we watch is so interesting. How we watch true crime documentaries, and that's why they're so interesting. Is because you don't just see guy bad, guy kill, guy go to jail. You hear he grew up like this. This happened to him. His mom beat him. This happened. He was molested. They go through the backstory. So not again that it ever justifies it, but it is interesting, like something like Joker or like that, where you hear the backstory first and then they do the evil deed, and you're like,
like psychological
when
turmoil.
I'm watching those,
it's not okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But you hear it.
Right. Because when I'm watching those shows, and it goes back to what we were talking about earlier too, is I'm fascinated with how did you get to this point to why you do the things you're doing, which is what we're talking about with like Thanos. It's like, oh, okay, I understand. Not that it was good what you did, but I understand. So it is a good point.
Yeah. Ricky?
It's crazy that you can relate to an evil character.
But like somebody like
I do all those things. Yeah.
But we're literally that close. Like, it's all of us is just a switch. That's all it is. It's that close of like you could literally just leave this house and start beating up kids
You could.
for no reason.
I mean, there's been times where I literally have like thought to myself, never thought about doing it, but I'm like, isn't that scary that I could just like ruin 100 lives right now by taking my car into a parade? Like I've never crossed my, like, maybe I'd do it, but just like, that's possible. That's frightening. And there's a lot of sick people in the world who can act on that stuff. And that's where the world gets scary. Stay strapped.
You got another one, Ricky?
Ricky?
Yeah, I guess it's. I used to think it was Immortal Joe, but it's Immortan Joe from Mad Max.
Which character is that?
Tom
I have
Ford?
to see-
Where's that? Where's the mask?
white dude?
Oh, the white.
I just like
Bootleg Bane?
Yeah, I like villains that I can hate. Like I like villains that like you relate to, but I'm like, dang it, I can't hate him. I'm like, I like to just hate the dude. Like, I don't know. Like, they're bad, and I just want to.
Oh, I can hate a lot of characters. Pennywise is one of them for sure.
Oh, dude, yeah,
He's a good
Pennywise
one.
is good.
Tim Curry or the newer guy?
The old one.
Yeah, Tim
Yeah.
Curry. Wow,
He even scared me when he was playing in Home Alone because it related it to him.
really?
Yeah, because his eyes were bloodshot red in that entire
Hey,
movie.
you just threw me my softball, bro. Thank you for that.
What?
What is
My answer? It's a funnier one, but they are the bad guys in the movie. Harry and Marv. They're some of my favorite villains in history.
Joe Pesci, dude.
awesome, yeah.
They are so great,
It
dude.
was so good.
What is it? Daniel Stern. Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci. Did you know Daniel Stern is the voice of Wonder Years? He's the narrator for the entire thing.
What?
Doesn't that change the whole way you watch it? That's his voice.
I can't unthink it now.
He's
He's
the
the
whole-
taller.
The taller one, the tall, skinny one. He is the voice of all the Wonder Years.
I
through
didn't know that.
Yeah, his fantastic voice, man. I'll give you my last scary one. I'm surprised nobody said this one.
What?
This is one I thought everybody was going
We
to say.
haven't really
Freddy
said the
or
entire
Hellraiser?
list, but there's a huge.
Nope.
Either?
Nope, not Freddy or Hellraiser.
Freddy
Oh,
Krueger?
wait. I got it.
Who?
Freddy
Michael
That was
Myers?
for the lands because of you.
Jason
No.
Michael
Voorhees,
Myers?
Wow.
That'd be Buffalo
Texas
Bill.
Chainsaw
You guys are all way
Massacre?
off.
Michael Myers? No.
Think much more mainstream. I would say as mainstream as it gets.
Mainstream horror?
Mainstream answer as it gets.
Phoenix Resale.
Dracula?
This is almost like saying Bowser.
Dracula?
Satan. Joker.
No,
Frankenstein?
Darth Vader.
Yeah,
Darth Vader. Yeah, I feel like I just didn't want to go into that, like, because he is one of the best villains of all time.
To
We
me,
already
he's
know that,
probably
but
the best.
He's great.
I
I,
think
like
I-
Darth Maul a lot, though.
I love
I
Darth
like to
Vader.
feel like he
question the
should have had
norms.
more.
I love Darth Maul
What
too.
about Darth Grievous?
Yeah.
I freaking loved Grievous.
General
Okay.
Grievous.
Darth Maul's makeup is the craziest looking makeup, but he's not as scary as what Darth Vader can do.
Did they ever give a backstory on Darth Maul though? They never
No, but I
did,
thought they were
right?
going to do a whole thing after Solo.
There's a lot of fan made very well. I'd say even better than some of the Star Wars stuff I've seen. Fan made Darth Maul stuff.
There's a
On
YouTube.
Yeah, I wish they would do it because Darth Vader, I think, is the most iconic one because
Yeah.
of his backstory,
Yeah.
and he is kind of relatable too because you're like, oh,
Yeah, like we've all killed younglings.
I'm trying to think of the YouTube. Like they basically.
had horrible stuff done to him, like when his legs are burnt off. And
Oh yeah.
you're like, oh, all right.
I was trying to
can
think of the
kinda get
YouTube
it.
that like where they pretty much rewrite these scripts to make their backstories even better.
Yeah.
And I can't think of it's all about Star Wars basically to do it for each character, and they're like how like this is how they became to be and this is why and all that stuff. But
You got another one?
Yeah, mine was definitely Commandos from Small Soldiers.
Wow.
Where
I
they're-
wasn't gonna go there.
Well, I mean, I was just a childhood movie right there, right? I just didn't want to say it first, but it's one of the best ones because it's like you think the guys that are the army soldiers that are supposed to be good and they think that they're fighting good, but they're really have an AI chip in them and they just become evil and they just start going against the other toys.
I like that. I think of movies that are like, I mean, I know this it like counts, but it doesn't count. But movies that are made after real life stories, right? Like Boy in the Striped Pajamas, or stuff about wars, or stuff about whatever it is. It's like because those I feel like Ricky said, you find yourself hating, which isn't good.
I know it's not good.
But you find yourself hating certain things. I have to admit it, and I will just say it now. We were in high school, different time.
Yeah.
I remember walking out of Pearl Harbor, and Ricky and I were like genuinely angry. And I'm not even going to say anything else. We were like genuinely angry at a race. Sorry, Tony. Because
The wrong
of
one.
a movie, right? And that's not good. That's actually horrible. But I get, when there's things that are based off real life, it's almost like hard to watch because real emotions get mixed in. And sometimes you don't like the way you feel after leaving the movie. And you're like, dang, that's scary that a movie had that much power over my reality right now. Obviously you correct yourself and go, okay, it's a movie. Even though stuff did happen, I'm not facing those people. They didn't do it to me. That whatever. There's
One of the craziest movie, it just kind of like clicked with me. Did you guys ever watch that movie Switch is what it was? Or the guy
Nintendo.
Adam Sandler?
No, the guy who had like 7 personalities built into him.
Yes, but I can't remember what it was called.
And
It was the
What was it
guy.
called?
that guy played one of the craziest roles I've ever seen.
The guy that's Xavier?
Yeah, he's Xavier.
forget his
What
name.
the heck was that called? Switch? It might have been Switch.
It's on Netflix, right?
I know the movie.
I
That
didn't
was a
watch
good
it
movie.
Yeah,
yet.
that guy, and I don't even know if he's a villain or not because it was like his personalities play into certain roles, but
He's
he
a
wasn't
villain.
good. That guy played an incredible role in that whole thing.
Yeah.
And I remember it moving me because I'm like, dude, and he would just switch into the next character.
Yeah.
And like he got touched, he turns into like, he's not here no more.
Another one I wrote down was John Doe. Does anyone remember what he's from?
Yeah.
John Doe.
He's going.
Oh gosh, with Brad Pitt.
Yep.
In Seven.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Kevin Spacey got canceled for a little bit.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That movie, that's one of my favorite movies.
It's so good.
Kevin Spacey and that John Doe character is so good.
You know,
and what he does to people is horrific.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I took a screenshot of the movie's description. So if anybody hasn't seen it, here's what it is. John Doe, the enemy, his master plan is a work of strategic, perverse genius, inspired by Christianity's 7 deadly sins: lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, and pride. The anonymous, mostly unseen character, serial killer handpicks each of his victims based on which of the aforementioned sins they're guilty of. Thus, an example, an obese man eats himself to death. A criminal gets strapped to a bed, unfed and immobile for 1 year, becoming a sloth. What a genius story to make an enemy, right? It's almost like Dexter, right? Like they're the bad one, so I'm going to make them pay, like Saw, right?
Dude, Dexter's one of my favorite TV series of all time. And if you guys haven't watched, Homelander is also very
Passenger.
even, but he's the TV show. So,
But that John Doe is another one that, like, he's not relatable. Like, oh, I can understand why it's good that he killed all those people. But like at the end, when you realize what he was doing and it explains why he's doing it, you're like, oh, well, geez, I can kind of understand. Those were, I believe they're listed in the Bible as like
7 deadly sins.
seven deadly. They're the deadly sins. Like you're supposed to die because of those. And he was kind of acting on them.
I mean, that's like the old, if you look at a YouTube video today and there's a guy who at a police station, when they were taking in the guy who was a pedophile and he killed some kid, guy turns around and kills the guy. Boom, a random dad, boom, shoots him because he's a pedophile. Look in the comments. There's not one person that says you shouldn't have done it.
He touched his kid. I remember he was waiting
You
on
can
the
relate
phone.
to it.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, go, more people like this, please. Again, not advocating murder. But again, when it does sympathize with you when you're like, that guy murdered a kid, right? Like, yeah, I can't imagine not wanting to have that person be killed in return. You know what I mean? Again, not going anything too deep, but you get it resonates with you as far as your emotions. Like, oh yeah, that guy was a piece of garbage, and the world would literally be a big example is pedophiles.
Yeah.
Pretty much anybody who talks in the world is like, yep, kill them all. Like, you don't mess with kids. Is that the right thing to do biblically? All that? Maybe not. I don't know. But but everybody there's no sympathy.
it's
for
crazy
certain
how
things.
like movies can portray an emotion and also depict characters that can also relate, but also show you sides that you weren't seeing before.
Mm-hmm.
And like how they're able to translate how, like, it's kind of realistic. Like their truths of why they did something, and then you can understand it a little bit better and know why you're not going to do that. But it's just kind of crazy to think that these movies do that to us. You know what I mean? Oh man.
I have some. Can I run down a list real quick? Some honorable mentions.
Yeah.
One for me, growing up, Wicked Witch of the West from Wizard of Oz.
That laugh.
Is one of the most like
Iconic, too.
iconic villains ever.
I love the Wizard of Oz.
Me too.
Like,
Absolutely
I love it.
love it. And that character, whatever her name was that played that,
Dorothy.
the actress in that was incredible.
I feel like she to this day is like the standard when you think of a witch, like the way she looks. The long
best.
nose, the
By
green.
far the best witch.
Mine's Hocus Pocus, but it's okay.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Focus was good too.
This is good.
That was one for me. I'm going to say the shark from Jaws.
I was going to bring that up.
I don't know if you can characterize an animal as a villain.
Yeah.
You can do anything realistically.
Cujo.
But that to me is the most terrifying villain. Like I still am scared watching that movie. And the way Steven Spielberg filmed that, where like you almost don't ever really even see the shark till the very end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
I was listening to Quentin Tarantino talk the other day about like movies and stuff, and he was saying there's a handful of like perfect movies, and Jaws was one of them. Like it is a perfect movie. There's very few of them. I actually think he might have said Wizard of Oz too.
Wizard of Oz to me is a perfect movie.
Yeah.
It is so good.
You know
That,
another perfect
Jaws,
movie to me? The original Willy Wonka.
That's a perfect
That is a
movie.
good
I would
movie.
put that in.
Have you
Yeah.
seen
Those are
Meat
perfect
Canyon's
movies.
depiction of it?
Who's?
Meat Canyon. The YouTuber.
Yeah.
He's cool. I think he did the whole thing with
Yeah, Caleb and Rick.
Caleb and Rick.
The
But
depiction of
Willy Wonka, they like how they did it and had the dark side of it, like how Willy Wonka
it goes dark. Willy Wonka gets a little dark too.
Yeah,
dark.
and you guys have to watch it. It is kind of eerily like just disturbing, but it kind of sheds a
watch
light
it
on
after.
how close it is.
I'll watch it. I do like Meat Canyon. What's your other?
I have one last one.
Ooh, can we guess? Give us a hint. Is it horror?
It has
Killer Clown.
No, not Killer Clowns. Has
The IRS.
That's the scariest
The
one.
ultimate enemy.
it's a devil. I'll say that. Giant horns, devil.
South Park Devil.
It's the best. It's the best devil depiction in any movie I would ever say.
Best devil depiction in a movie.
Is it Chris Cron? Just
Does he
kidding.
actually have horns in the movie?
Yes,
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
it has unicorns in it. How about that?
Bro, this is not the
Never-ending story?
ayahuasca
Bill and
trip.
Ted?
What is going on here?
Oh no, Bill and Ted. What's the one with the pick of destiny? It's not that.
Jack
is it?
Black?
No,
Tenacious D.
it's the. All right, I'll just say it. The devil from Legend, the movie Legend.
I've never seen
wow.
it. Never seen it.
Never seen that
I haven't
movie?
seen that in a very long time.
I don't remember it that well. Sorry.
Oh, you never saw it
I
either.
saw it, but I
Dang, Chris had a
I don't remember that one.
Dang, really?
Dang.
Chris had a big old build up, and everyone's like,
Oh my god! Have you seen it?
No.
Legend?
yeah, it's been a long time.
Do you remember the devil?
Yeah, I Am Legend. Will Smith was in it. The weird CGI zombies. He's
Oh
pulling
my
up.
gosh! I'm just gonna pull up Legend Devil. Like,
I just wanna
man,
see
I
it.
thought you guys would have
No, bro, don't
seen
open that door. Remember what Brennan said?
Yeah. Don't let those thoughts in.
Seriously, dude.
That character is the best.
Ooh,
looking
yeah.
Bro, just
villain,
Ouija board his
literally
phone right
ever.
now.
Wow, yeah, that's intense. I mean, it's literally called the Lord of Darkness in that. Wow.
Dang, I thought
yeah.
you guys
Actually,
would have
I
all
remember
liked
that
one.
It's like a
Face, though.
sunburned Curtis.
Let me see.
You don't remember that guy?
Yeah, Tenacious D.
It does kind of too look like that.
All right. So, guys, I just want to say that all the full episodes will be in the description. And like I said, SoCal Gaming Expo will be June 8th and June 9th. And I can't tell you, get it, your tickets today.
SoCal.
SoCal.
Listen, if you go to SoCal and tell us you specifically bought tickets because of this episode, Ricky will buy you a churro.
Churro. Yeah. There will be a churro coupon not in the description. But
Code brown sugar.
brown sugar.
Use promo code brown sugar down below.
Free
so-
churro.
Lives like sugar.
And this
Brown
is a crazy mark. We're at 25 episodes. It's about over 50 hours of podcasting.
And it's our last one, guys.
And-
50 hours.
and over 100K downloads on the audio episodes. I just want to say, if we can't say it enough, we appreciate you guys all out there
Thank
watching
you
and tuning
so
in
much.
Can't believe
every
we
week.
talked to you for more than 50 hours, bro.
That's crazy.
I'm hanging out with you way longer than that.
Sure, we probably did that in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's
We
like
could have
a
been playing video games that whole time.
No, Chris isn't going to start doing that until he's 70. So.
Get back into it.
Hey, you guys, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.